Okay, hi. So, this is kind of an introduction to the video, and it's basically just to say that I was like, oh, I love watching reading vlogs, especially when they're for readathons and stuff, and I was like, I'm gonna be one of those people who does that, and I tried. I did it for, like, the first 2 days, kind of, like, there's probably, like, overall, like, 6 minutes of footage, if that, not even. So basically, I'm just going to put together what I did film. I only did it for like the first 2 days, and then I read a little bit throughout the rest of the 5 days of the readathon for Contemporary-a-thon, but I kind of failed at life. But I will do a wrap-up after the like video clips are done and kind of let you know how I did, where I got in the readathon, and what kind of challenges I finished or attempted and all that. So yes, hope you enjoy this hot mess of a video. Okay, so I haven't really done this before, but I always watch them because they're fun when like readathons happen, so we're gonna test it because I'm bored and, you know, whatever. So I'm doing the Contemporary-a-thon. Today's the first day, and thought I would just do like random like daily vlogs. So I'm, let's see, 110 pages into Stealing Kisses by Harmony Evans, but I was kind of like already 50 pages in when, before the readathon started, so I've read about 50 or so pages. And then, I wasn't planning on it, because this was the last book that I was planning on picking up for the readathon, but I started Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, and I was listening to the audiobook while like eating breakfast and stuff. So I am, I think, 40 minutes into the audiobook and I'm reading along, and I'm on chapter 7, page 29. So I might actually just listen to some of it like daily, and by the time it's over I'll have like made like a decent dent, like even if I'm just like 100 pages in. But yeah, I plan on finishing this one first, then reading Husbands because it's a graphic novel and I'll feel like I'm getting a lot done. And then I'll pick something like Between the Broken Hearts or the hashtag Pretty Boy Must Die, so we'll see how that goes. And yeah, so I think collectively I've read like 80 pages today, which is not that bad. I have class crap to do, but I think I'm saving the more serious class stuff that I have to do for tomorrow, but I'm still going to try to get stuff done today. It's mainly either just school days or work days, so we're going to see how much I can actually get done in that time. So yeah, I'll update later or whatever. Hey, so I'm going to do a quick like 2-second update. I decided to DNF Stealing Kisses by Harmony Evans. I got to page 130 in it and then just wasn't really feeling it, and I know that if I did finish it, it would be at most like a 3-star read and one that I'd probably end up unhauling anyway. So to save my time, it was just really cheesy, and I like the Harlequin romance ones that have like a good balance of like building the relationship and like the whole sexualness of it all, and this didn't really have it. So I decided to stop reading this. Then I went to do taxes or whatever with my mom at H&R Block, and I started, and while I was waiting and stuff, read half of Husbands, which is one that's later on my TBR, and I'm probably going to finish this one later tonight or sometime tomorrow so that I have more time to review by the time I'm finished with it, but I'm enjoying it so far. And I've gotten further in Pride and Prejudice listening to it while I ate dinner. I'm on chapter 9, page 43. So yeah, that's my update for now, and I'll update you guys later. Okay, so I'm going to try to make this quick because I'm in public right now and I don't like public filming, but I'm at home and I don't know what time I'm going to get home and I have stuff to do when I get home. So yes. It's day 2 of the Contemporary-a-thon. I finished the graphic novel Husbands yesterday at the end of day 1, and so my mom is borrowing that now. And she's reading that one because she's also participating. I got like 20 more pages into Pride and Prejudice with the audiobook last night, but I was ready to come on day 2. I counted it as day 2 progress, and then I started Pretty Boy Must Die, and I'm on page 52. So that's my update for now, and I'll update later. Okay, so as you can see from my crappy half-assed attempts at vlogging, and it wasn't even really vlogging, it was just updates in various bad qualities of lighting, and then in the last one, it was good quality because it was like a store, it was rainbow, but you probably couldn't hear me because I was whispering because I was so uncomfortable with how many people were staring. But yeah, so let's just do a quick run through, shall we? Day 1, I read about 100 pages of Stealing Kisses by Harmony Evans. This was my choice for the challenge of read a diverse contemporary book, and I had never seen one of those like Harlequin romance books with anything other than like a straight white couple on the cover, just being basic. So I was excited to find this one. I thought the characters were interesting, and I thought the plot was interesting. It felt like it would make like for a really good like rom-com movie, but the writing I just couldn't get into. I didn't find myself really caring about it, and there's like a thing where like as soon as they met, all of their inner monologues when you're going through both of the like the main couple, like the main protagonist, like thoughts were all just like sexual, even when it was like a serious scene where they're like talking about like their family or stuff like that. It was like when it didn't even make sense, and I think I'm just gonna unhaul this. I basically just kept it to do the wrap up. And then so, because I decided to unhaul it, I put the whole diverse read challenge on a different book, and it was fine. It all worked fine. So this one, Husbands by Brad Bell and Jane Epinson. I'll get that right one time. This is a graphic novel, and I think when I gave the description in my TBR, it was kind of off, because that's what the description on the back says, but it's the part that is describing the web series, the TV show. So the TV show web series thing is apparently about these two men who get drunk in Vegas, and they've only been dating for like a week or two, and they decide to get married. Well, they get married when they're drunk, and then they decide to stay married to not be one of the first gay couples who have divorced already. And it's kind of like the shenanigans of that. This graphic novel specifically is them getting a wedding present that is this like magical book that takes them into these different worlds, and each issue, like each single issue within this book, is a different world that they're transported to. So even though this kind of doesn't really apply for Contemporary-a-thon, I didn't know that at the time, because this is very fantastical and mainly sci-fi and fantasy kind of thing. But it was diverse, and it was a graphic novel that I read. I thought it was really cute. I ended up giving this a 4 out of 5 stars, and I would recommend if you wanted something quick and light and fun with really cute art style, and that is about two men falling in love. There was like some contemporary stories in here, so I don't think it's a complete failure, but like the art is gorgeous. And that one was about 200 pages, so within this, just these two right here, I read 300 pages. Then I read, let's see, the first 56 pages of Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I mainly read along while listening to this on audiobook, and I think that that's how I'm going to need to continue to do this, because the writing is obviously very dense, because it's a classic and it's, you know, very of its time. So I'm going to kind of just go along with that and still obviously continue it, because I am enjoying it much more than I thought I would. I just didn't finish it in time, and I knew I wasn't going to finish this one. So I don't have really a problem with not finishing it. This completes the challenge of a book that's been recommended to you, a hyped book, a pink book, all of that. It's one that applies for a lot of the challenges. And then the last one that I read anything of, I read the first 130 pages of hashtag Pretty Boy Must Die by Kimberly Reed. And I also wanted to make a point of during February not only reading contemporary romance books because it's the month of Valentine's Day, but also trying to read contemporary romance books that have main characters and main protagonists of color, because it is Black History Month. So I was doing that with this one. Ended up not liking this one, unfortunately, but I did try to read it. And then this one, I did not even know that the main character is Black. He's from Georgia, and it just applied so well, and I am obsessed with this so far. I haven't finished it because I work a lot and I go to school, like college. So I got a lot, and I'm always trying to fit time to read. That's why I did this readathon. And the thing is, overall, 100, 200, there's 350, and then this one, I basically read about 500 pages through, like, collectively throughout this readathon. And I think that even though I only finished one thing, technically, because the other one was DNF, and these are just, like, getting some sort of dent into it, I am proud of how far I did, because I haven't had that much time to read lately because of how much crap I've been doing. So the whole point of this was to read more, and I did. And so I am still into it, and I promise that when I decide to participate in a readathon again, I will be sure that I have enough time to actually seriously attempt it, which means that the next one that I do might not even be until Booktube-a-thon, because I take Booktube-a-thon seriously. But there's a 24-hour readathon coming up. I might do that. It's hosted by read by Zoe. I might do that. But whichever one that I take seriously and I do again, I'm going to actually try to vlog and show me doing stuff whilst trying to read. But that's basically it. That's how I did. I did kind of mediocre, but it could have been worse. And yeah, so if you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe if you would like to see more of my face and my books.